Good afternoon, everybody. So, today's daily bread is titled Survivors by God's Mercy. And the verse comes from Isaiah 1, verse 9, and it reads, "Unless the Lord Almighty had left us some survivors, we would have become like Sodom." Charles Johan was a sailor from the young age of 11. He served as a baker on a number of ships, and in 1912 got hired onto a cruise ship sailing out of Southampton, England. That ship, the Titanic, hit an iceberg in the northern Atlantic. As the ship went down, Johan helped people into lifeboats. He himself stood atop the end of the Titanic as it sunk vertically into the water. Miraculously, he survived. 30 years later, during World War II, Charles was on another ship, the RMS Oregon. It was rammed by another vessel, and it also sank. Remarkably, Johan survived again. Scriptures tells us we're all on a sinking ship. Paul writes, "All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." Romans 3:23. He refers to the rebellious nation of Israel, quoting Isaiah, "Unless the Lord Almighty had left us some survivors, we would have become like Sodom." Isaiah 1:9. Paul speaks of a remnant of Israel, a shipload of survivors. Only the remnant will be saved. Romans 9:27. How are they saved? By receiving the good news. Verses 10 through 16. You see, we're all like Israel, drowning in our sin. None of us can be rescued unless we receive the good news. The lifeboat that God throws out to us all is Jesus. We who believe in Jesus might need to be reminded of the remarkable truth that we are, by God's mercy, survivors. Those who haven't yet found Jesus in the troubled waters of life might do well to climb in the lifeboat. When have you felt like you're drowning in life? How do you understand God's offer of a lifeboat? Dear God, thank you for your mercy and rescue. In Romans 9:22-29, Paul reveals the depth of God's mercy against the backdrop of divine sovereignty. Though God has every right to display his wrath and power, he instead chooses to show immense patience, even towards those who oppose him. This patience paves the way for mercy, as God calls not only the Jews, but also the Gentiles, creating a new people belonging to him. The apostle draws from Hosea to emphasize that God's saving grace reaches beyond human expectation. Those once considered not my people are now beloved children of God. Romans 9:25 and Hosea 2:23. Salvation isn't earned, but freely offered. And God's mercy isn't limited by ancestry or status. We are all drowning in sin, but God offers salvation through Jesus to all who believe. Romans 10:13. So let's go back to that question. When have you felt like you're drowning in life, and how do you understand God's offer of a lifeboat? Drowning in life in anxiety, right? Drowning in life in that sin that you can't let go, right? Anxiety holds on to a lot of people. It did for me a little bit. I know, it might be surprising for some people, but I wasn't anxious, but I had a little bit of anxiety every now and then, and God helped me out. How do you understand God's offer of a lifeboat? God sent Jesus to save us. Jesus is the lifeboat, right? Every day we're drowning in sin. Every day we're drowning in something new. Jesus is the lifeboat. If you want to be saved, hop in. If you don't want to be saved, stay drowning. But on a serious note, Jesus is here to save each and every soul. He does not wish that anybody go to hell, but to go with him in peace for eternity. So turn to Jesus today and be saved. Have a blessed day. Amen.